Is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's career over? We got some really bad reports out yesterday, guys, talking about The Rock, and we'll be talking about that today on Mirror Domain's Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines, where indeed we do talk about all the trending movie news topics of the day. This is a live show, guys, and since we do it live, you can talk with us in the chat about any of these topics. Alien Romulus, Mufasa, that fallout still seems to be continuing. Barry Jenkins has to come out and defend himself. The Chris Farley biopic, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes final trailer drops. And of course, the Rock story, which really kind of bums me out because I thought he hasn't issued a statement yet, so this is a story that's going to go on for a couple of days until we actually get his side of the story. But it's not looking good, and his career may, well, I would say that it's probably going to be over fairly soon. But we start off today's show by talking about The Fall Guy that comes out this week. Ryan Gosling jokes The Fall Guy is just a giant campaign to get stunts and Oscar, an action-packed premiere. So guys, I am seeing The Fall Guy tonight at 7 p.m. So stay tuned later on for my straight out of the theater reaction. And I'm looking forward to it. I hear that this is just a lot of fun, a lot of kind of like just putting popcorn in my mouth, going kind of stuff, right? And I think I'm not alone here. I don't know if I like their the suit jackets or the tone of that. Is it like a mint? It's like, no, it's not even mint, James. It's kind of like a drab green color there. Well, whatever. Fashion aside, people are talking about it. Let's go over to the tomato meter. 86% by 100 reviews. It's pretty high up there. So, yeah. What's it about? He's a stunt man, and like everyone in the stunt community, he gets blown up, shot, crashing through windows, and dropped off the highest buildings. Basically, he gets caught up in like a murder mystery type of thing, and it's based off of an 80s TV show. Emily Blunt stars, directed by David Leitch. All right, so it seems to be poised to be #1 at the box office this weekend because it's just kind of like the start of May now, and the first day of May, so that's good. Premieres seem to be going fairly well for people. They've been doing like these stunt performances at premieres and stuff. Just to get everybody in the mood. So that's cool. I dig that. And of course, you know,
honestly, I think we're
how I feel about Emily Blunt.
all really baffled by it because
that quality doesn't do her justice here. I'm really looking forward to her in this movie. I don't really care about the romance angle kind of it side to it. I'm just looking forward to the action, this the over-the-top zaniness of it all. But they've been having a lot of fun with it. So, Fall Guy could jump into action with $30 million as Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt charm the weekend box office. $30 million for an opening for an actioner beginning of May. That's obtainable, I would say. It's only got the competition of Tarot, and then it's got the carryovers from last week, Challengers and Boy Kills World, that hopefully will get a wider release. And I would say that Boy Kills World is probably going to have the same type of tone and audience that The Fall Guy would have. So that's bad for Boy Kills World. But Boy Kills World will find its audience, just not in the box office. Fall Guy, though, it's poised, it's primed to be the #1, and I think everybody will be shocked if it falls to Tarot. It's not going to, guys. What is that Tarot movie? It's a horror movie, and it's kind of like people who get the tarot cards read. It's the future says death. Oh no, they get killed in brutal fashion. I'm looking forward to it. It says here May 10th. No, it comes out tomorrow for here in Canada. So I'll be seeing that tomorrow at 4 p.m. Guys, you know horror is my bag. I love it. I don't know anything about this cast. Jacob Batalon. Okay, we've seen him in the Spider-Man movies. I'm just more curious about the premise. Yeah, it's not going to be undone. That's not coming in number one. That's going to be probably third or fourth. I suspect that Tarot will be about, I don't know, 5 million maybe. So barely maybe into the top five. But the buzz and the marketing campaign for Fall Guy has been fairly good. Uh, Ryan Gosling, and as you saw there on the Hollywood Reporter stuff, they've been doing like these stunts and stuff on the premieres, trying to get things out. Ryan Gosling was on SNL dressed up as Beavis. Just this is like wow, like, and I hear their skit was funny. I just don't watch SNL, so it's kind of like uh, they look like the part they look like them, right? Uh, it's just like they're just sitting in the background, right? And they're like, that guy's being distracting, and they're just sitting there. So I'm like, whew, yeah, they're having fun. Ryan Gosling's having a lot of fun here. There they are at the Fall Guy premiere. Again, as I said, we're doing all these kind of like stunt marketing things, and I think they're having fun, and I hope that translates to the screen. Uh, Early buzz is that it is translating to the screen. 86%. Oh, it says 85 there here on the side, so it's going down a little bit. But yeah, and I want to see the stunt work there. Artglass Viking says perhaps they chose mint suits so that they wouldn't clash with the red carpet or red or yellow Fall Guy sign. I don't know if it's if it's like a soft mint, like what you get in like that mint chocolate chip ice cream kind of thing. A little pastel-y kind of flavor to it, right? Whatever. What I like about it is it seems that Ryan Gosling is playing ball. He's doing like shooting the film and acting in it is not the only assignment, right? When you take on a movie project, it's going out and doing the press junkets, the marketing campaigns, and Gosling just seems to be like a stand-up dude in that angle. Which brings us to our next topic, The Rock, who apparently is not a stand-up dude when it comes to this kind of stuff. So yesterday, the story broke that Dwayne Johnson has been chronically late on Red One. Bombshell reports, reportedly costing Amazon and MGM Studios 250 million. But now the studio has denied this report. Dwayne Johnson is chronically late on Red One, costing millions. And everybody yesterday was talking about that, saying, going down breakdowns of how being late on set costs money and stuff like that. And it just kind of has a snowball effect of ramping up the budget. You also got reports that that he's peeing in bottles to save time, but that's kind of counter programming, isn't it? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. He cares enough not to take time to go back to his trailer to use the washroom to go in a bottle, but then he shows up late. Like, those two don't compute. If he's that casual about it, doesn't really care about the production, no. If he's late, then he would also take the time to go back to the trailer to relieve himself. Right? That's the way I would see it. So some of these reports, it's kind of we have to dance around some of these topics because it's a minefield. It's a minefield right now until we find out with a little bit more concrete evidence exactly what happened or what is happening with The Rock, because something's happening. This just doesn't come out of nowhere, right? And I'll back that up with some evidence here in a second. But the Red One is it's a Christmas movie with Chris Evans that comes out this Christmas, and it spiraled over 250 million in budget. The only thing Dwayne was consistent at was being chronically late. The report said it was an effing disaster. Dwayne truly doesn't give an F, said one insider. So, insider, it's kind of like, wow, you got to take that with a grain of salt, right? It's hearsay. It's secondhand. It's third or fourth hand information by the time we get it, guys. And everything that I've heard about Dwayne Johnson on set, up till now, is that he always comes prepared. He's a professional. right? He shows up on time. He knows his lines. He knows what has to get done. That's all I've ever heard, which led to beefs between him and Vin Diesel on the Fast and Furious franchise. Because, what was it, for number 7 or 6, when they were trying to get him back for 7? He was like, "No, I can't do it because Vin Diesel. It's Vin Diesel that's been late on uh, coming onto the set, and we're all sitting around waiting for him to come out of his trailer." And I kind of raked Vin Diesel over the coals for that. I used him as my punching bag for a while, and he would come to the set not knowing his lines and just like being diva mentality. So for me, hearing this report, it's kind of like, well, what exactly was happening then? Because you know that they had beefs. You know that they had a falling out, like a major falling out. And there was that report that Vin Diesel said to The Rock that he was trying to give him some tough love, right? Saying, "Hey, you gotta be a better professional here on set." And then you hear the reports about the way that Vin Diesel was behaving. So that's why I was kind of like, that's why I was using him kind of as a punching bag for like unprofessional behavior. So if it does ever come to light that Vin Diesel, that I owe him an apology for all of this, well, yeah, of course I'll apologize. But we have heard and reports that Vin Diesel does show up late to set as well, and he does show up unprepared, not knowing his lines. Um, he constantly comes out of his trailer sometimes. Well, not sometimes. He comes out with like lines that he's got up here in his head. He hasn't told anybody else that he wants to shoot, kind of thing, right? That kind of stuff. Uh, so to hear that now it's The Rock that's been doing all of this, that he's late, and it's for a myriad of reasons, guys. Um, I don't know if it's scheduling or he's working out for 3 hours. Uh, Brass tacks of it all, like getting down to the nitty gritty of it. It's kind of like Dwayne Johnson and $7 have been incredible partners on Red One. So it's his own production company. There's contracts that you sign at the beginning of films. A film that audiences of all ages are going to love this holiday season. Our testing has been strong. The reaction from CinemaCon speaks for itself. We wouldn't have made it without Dwayne's constant work and support. And he is good at marketing. Like he uses his social media, his platforms to promote his movies. Uh, so he's a little bit in that aspect good at it. But um, as I said, it's kind of hard to believe exactly how much of it is true. A lot of it's hearsay. Uh, on the HBO series Ballers, apparently he was regularly 3 or 4 hours late, keeping 100 crew members waiting for no reason. His absolute refusal to work more than 4 or 5 hours a day, it's a control type of thing. So it's machismo. It's testosterone that, well, of course, when you get these two guys, big beefy guys, butting heads, then things aren't going to go over very well. Now, they have sort of seemed to have smoothed things over for at least possibly Fast 11. I don't know about The Rock's career trajectory. I pulled up a few things here that we can take a look at. And not many of them, but Skyscraper. Like as a single performer, like can he carry a movie? Skyscraper had 304 million worldwide on a budget of 125 million. So yeah, it was marginally profitable. Well, it was profitable because double that, 250 million because of marketing and what theaters take. It was about 50 million in profit. It was there, but that's because the budget was not astronomical. It was fairly reasonable, conservative these days. No, movies should be this amount. When you get up to 200 million, you should be just shaking your head. What are you guys doing? Okay. What's next? Jungle Cruise was also out in 2021, right? 220 million at the box office. So you see a bit of a decline here. 220 million on a $200 million budget. That had Emily Blunt in it too, right? So it's kind of like, are people going to see this because of The Rock? Or what the heck is going on here? Jumanji. Welcome to the Jungle. What was the last one? Next Level, right? 801 million. But he's part of an ensemble there. He's not carrying it all on himself. So that's why I didn't quite pull that one. Black Adam, all on him, right? He was the driving force of making this movie work. 393 million at the box office on a budget of around 260 million. There's like a floating number there. Either way you cut it, Black Adam didn't make money. So you can see that his results haven't been all that good unless he's part of a bigger mix, right? So a report like this of him being late to not only TV series like Ballers, but now movies, and movies that he produces, it's like, do you want to work with him? Would you work with him? Box office wise, we just looked at some of the numbers. It's kind of like meh. If it's Jumanji and he's part like with Jack Black and Kevin Hart and Karen Gillan, then he's part of a team there, right? But him by himself, Skyscraper, just barely scraped by. And Black Adam definitely did not do what they wanted it to do. Now, I'm not counting Red One here or Red Notice, that movie with Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot. But those were streaming movies, right? And yeah, Red Notice, which was just kind of schlocky, kind of throwaway fun. But as this story came out yesterday, we also got notified again that on the set of Red Notice, Ryan Reynolds, who also produces stuff, like he has a producer hand in his works, chewed him out for being late. And that one I believe, because Ryan Reynolds seems like he is the one that's should be the standard of like professionalism. He got onto the scene, he made films that he didn't really want to make, and he made his shtick work, and then he started to produce his own stuff, and then he got Deadpool made, and then he made all of these other humanitarian side things going on in the background. He makes his own kind of liquor, doesn't he? So he's built his own empire. So he knows what it takes to be a professional, and being a professional is not being late for anything. And the reports that came out were pretty damning that this was a habitual thing for The Rock. Now, we still haven't heard his side of the story, but I can understand, okay, your kid falls down at school, you got to go, you got to leave the set and you got to go. Your house was on fire, sorry, you were late, but not on a consistent basis. And definitely not for the consistent basis of you having to work out for 3 hours. All of this stuff should be stipulated in the contracts. And if you are late to the set on a basis that's like all the time, then there should be clauses in there for your dismissal. I don't care who you are. If you're Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Cruise, another person that's in that top tier of setting the bar for professionalism. Tom Cruise chews out crew members who are not following best practices, safety protocols, right? Because he cares about the project. And this is just one of the dangers, I would suppose, one would have to take about working with somebody who's acting in a project, but is also producing it. For every Tom Cruise and Ryan Reynolds, it seems that there also seems to be a Vin Diesel, now, I hate to say it, The Rock. Can he come out and clear his name? Possibly. Yes, he can. He's just got to clear the air. And I don't want to hear some BS that, well, guys, for my physique, I have to be working out this amount of time. Well, fine. Put that in your contract and let the studio know that so that they can schedule around it and you don't have people wasting money just sitting on their hands on the set waiting for you to show up. Guys, if it happened in any other industry, you would be dismissed. If you're in the restaurant, I don't feel like showing up until, well, 2 hours before close. You're fired. You're done. You're out. Any other industry, you're done. And it should be in this industry. And it's not any other industry, James. If you are a grip, if you're a PA, you're the guy that goes get coffee for people, and you're late doing that, you're fired. You're done. So I know that he's a big star, but we looked at his numbers, guys, and is it worth the risk in working with him? And the cumulative consensus that I've been getting is that Hollywood and the people that work around him have had enough of it. That's what I'm reading from this. There is something going on there, but is his career like completely over? It remains to be seen. And it'll be curious to see how his response to this is, because a lot of us still believe that he's a good dude, but you can be a fine, gentlemanly, nice person that's also not really good to work with because of things about being late. Now, on a personal note, guys, I don't tolerate this kind of person in my life at all. If we're doing something and I say, okay, we're going to meet up half an hour before something starts here, and you are at least, and you're late, okay, I'll give you the pass for the first time. But the second time, you're late, that's it for you. I don't talk to you anymore. It's kind of like, look, you're late again, and they're like, oh yeah, I know, but I was on my phone or whatever. And if I see that that's a consistent behavior in somebody, I don't interact with them. I'm like, I'll put them at a distance. If there's somebody that I have to work with for a certain project or something for the small time, then I'll put up with it. But after that, you're not part of my life anymore. I don't care. And if it's a family member, you haven't seen me talk to somebody directly, because I'll put the fear of God in you. You're late. You disrespect me like that. You think anybody disrespects me like that in my family? So there you go. Our Glass Viking says, is the beginning of the fall of the Rock in order of him to begin redemption arc? Doesn't seem like him. No. Yeah, on the surface of it all. Yeah. But there's not this much feathers ruffled out there if there's not something there. It's just how big, right? All right, we've talked about that at length, and that'll be cut out and put up on the channel later on. Let's talk about some other movie news headlines. Hey guys, if you like this kind of stuff, you like talking about this, let me interest you on some of the other things we do here on the channel. Mirror Domains. We do trailer reactions for things like Deadpool and Wolverine and J-Lo's Atlas movie that's coming out this month. The Watchers. We do full series reactions for Fallout and Reacher. Oh God, two great series right there. Movie reviews for Abigail, Civil War. Full movie reactions for Roadhouse. And of course, then we do movie news here throughout the week. And whenever I do get a chance to get online, I talk about these things because this is just what I like to do, right? Am I late sometimes doing it? I blame OBS. Hey guys, it happens. It happens. All right. Chris Farley. And I still watch Chris Farley's little clips here and there. He was a talented comedian, but it wasn't all sunshine and roses behind the scenes, talking about unprofessional behavior. Josh Gad's Chris Farley biopic starring Paul Walter Hauser lands at New Line. So they're going forward with this, and Paul Walter Hauser is going to be playing Chris Farley. Now, guys, if you don't know, of course, he was a big guy. He was into abusive substances, and because he was addicted to these things, it at times made him behave rudely and quite mean to other set people on the set. Like him and David Spade You say, what? They had so much chemistry on like Tommy Boy and stuff. Yeah, but there was a couple times where he was just blatantly an ass to him, to David Spade, and David Spade just had it out with him one day, right? Um, because he would just poke. He would poke at you, and he would do it sometimes maybe because he thought he was just trying to be funny, like you know how you make fun of your friends every now and then, kind of thing, right? But you do it laughingly, right? Uh, and then sometimes you cross that line, and more than a couple times, Farley crossed that line. So I don't know if they're going to ever go into that part because everybody has them painted in their minds as kind of like the jolly fat man. But like I appreciated what he was like, the way he could just take things to that next level of audacity. Because if you don't know, I'm also someone who appreciates a certain level of audacity. You watch some of my shorts, you will see that I go to that level. So before 1997 of a drug overdose, Fairly rose to fame, turned to SNL, Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, Beverly Hills Ninja, and I was always kind of hoping that he would be able to get clean, like between him and John Candy, like they were big dudes, right? And John Candy was a big smoker, and I think he was a drinker too, right? Uh, when you're that big, you your blood pressure is constantly like 160 something, right? Your body just can't sustain it, and it comes back to bite you in the butt, and it did for him. Uh, I was really hoping you could turn it around. So I'm curious about this. Um, I don't want it to hold any punches, is what I'm saying. Because I own Tommy Boy and Black Sheep on in my catalog, and as I said, I watch a lot of his skits from SNL on like TikTok and stuff like that. I don't know if this Paul Walter Hauser. I think, of course, he's got like the same kind of build, but there was a loudness to Farley's voice that would be it's very hard to emulate, right? Like I'm going to get kicked by like he's screaming. But it's like wow. Um, yeah, we'll have to see how that unfolds. If it's landing with New Line, they'll be securing a release date, I would imagine, fairly soon, uh, or like some kind of a release window. Let me see. Let's see if I can pull this up. Okay, this is Josh Gad's, so it's not even there, huh? Is he a writer of it? Little Town? No. So it's not even on Josh Gad's IMDb, but he's working on it. We'll have to see. New Line, huh? Friday is told was a highly competitive situation, and it has the blessing of the Farley family, which will be Josh Gad's directorial debut. Yeah, I'll have to see. Um, Paul Walter Hauser is a good vocal match for Farley, though they don't resemble each other's facial features. No, they don't resemble facial features. But if you can get that like over the top screaming, I was living in a van down by the river kind of thing, that kind of stuff. Yeah. John Candy was Saint compared to Chris Farley. Well, yeah. John Candy was more of kind of like the guy that you wanted to go to the bar and have beers with because he'd be smoking and laughing and joking, and yeah, Candy would poke fun at you too, but he knew the line, right? Um, he'd be kind of like he'd make a quip and he'd be like, "Hey, I heard that," and then you both laugh about it. He wouldn't keep pressing, right? Um, Candy was a good dude too, man. But he smoked the big cigars. Candy did. Anyway, uh, we'll have to see how that unfolds. Let's watch a trailer together, guys. Let's watch a trailer together. because I didn't watch this yesterday. The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes final trailer released yesterday, guys. It's coming out May 10th, which is just next week. So, wow. Let's tee this trailer up and take a look. So, the final trailer. Hopefully it doesn't spoil too much because I'm already sold on this. I'm already sold. I don't need to have any more revealed to me. I'm going to go and see it next Thursday, unless they got a pre-screening for me again. We'll have to see. Final trailer for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Son, your father, he waits.
Satellite dishes?
Much to learn. Much to teach. There
Call
are
him by his name.
dangers
This,
beyond our
a
ability.
lot of people are confused that this is still Caesar, and it's not. Apes on horses.
Help your father!
Call him by his name. Let us know that it's not Caesar. In 10 days. Like, we know that it's not Caesar. It's not. Visually, it looks good.
My family. I will find them. I will bring them home.
Interview.
To survive, remember your strength, your compassion, your mercy.
Well, that is Cornelius.
Why do they
right?
hunt her?
She knows the human secrets.
I have a name.
Oh, she can talk.
May. I know where they're taking your clan.
You chose
So she's not affected by the virus.
for an entity.
Because the virus took speech away from her.
This was a
right?
human place. It is not yours.
It is now, isn't
But there were people that were immune to it, so
The elders did not tell us everything about this world.
so is she the little girl grown up?
bend for your king.
Never.
Is she the little girl that was in War of the Planet of the Apes? I'll have to check that out. In IMAX, huh? May 10th. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Good trailer. It's not yours. It's now, isn't it? Proximus is a menace. Okay. If Caesar saw what Proximus did to the apes, his heart would break all over again. First time it broke when Koba betrayed him, and that event haunted him for the rest of his days. Yeah. And they did a good job of portraying that in War of the Planet of the Apes too, of how he was carrying around Koba in his heart, which made the whole Caesar line really good. Yeah, they should have called Noah being called in the trailer. This is 300 years like into the future. Okay, yeah. We knew as movie fans that this was not tied to the Caesar storyline. Like, it was going to be somewhat in the future. But I like it visually. I dig it. I'm looking forward to it next week. It's hard to believe that it's just next week. The energy of Caesar wafts through the film. Okay, at least people here in the comments seem to be cognizant of it. But you ask the casual person, and they're like, they think that it's Caesar. It's not. May Freya Allen. Proximus Caesar is Kevin Durant. Oh, cool. That's who that voice is. And Owen Teague is Noah. Peter McCon is Raka. Yeah, I dig what I'm seeing, guys. And if you are curious about like the CGI work and stuff like that, apparently they're going to be a Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes Blu-ray release will feature a mocap version of this, so you'll be able to see like the actors and stuff. What acting on set with? How's that going to work? That's weird. I don't understand how that's going to be. Kevin Durant though is the bad guy. He was just in Abigail, and he was really good in that. So it's cool to see him getting lots of cool work, though. A mocap version of this, though, on the Blu-ray. So here you would see Kevin Durant kind of kneeling down. That'd be weird, but maybe that's what we need so that these motion capture performances can get the recognition from the Academy for like the work that they're doing here. It's like their facial expressions get translated by the computer, and that's why it looks and is done so well, right? So that'd be cool. Yeah, I hope the soundtrack is good too, because I really like the soundtrack for War of the Planet of the Apes. Good trailer, guys. What did you think? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Hey, if you like this kind of stuff, join us here live throughout the week where we talk about a bunch of movie news, trending topics, and stuff like that. We do other trailer reactions for Deadpool and Wolverine, Atlas, The Watchers. We watch series like Fallout and Reacher. Movie reviews for Abigail, Civil War, and full movie reactions for Roadhouse. And of course, then we do movie news throughout the week. And as I said, we do the movie news stuff live. In fact, we filmed this trailer reaction live. Come join us here on Mirror Domains and participate in the chat. See you next time. All right. That was a good trailer, though. Yeah, I didn't need to see that to sell it to me anymore. I was on board. Let's move on. Kingdom Hearts. Guys, play that game on PlayStation. The Disney and Final Fantasy crossover Kingdom of the Hearts is reportedly getting a feature film adaptation. Now, will it be no? It can't be live action because this is a series that mixes like Final Fantasy characters over with like Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. It's based on a new character all by themselves, Riku or something like that. It would have to be CG. For this kind of thing, go CG. And it's okay that it's CG animated, but like, how would you do a live action Donald Duck? It would still be a CG duck, kind of like what they did for the Pokemon movie, right? Like maybe you could do that angle, but the thing is that it takes place in this fantastical world where you would have CGI backgrounds anyway. So the human people, they would be the ones looking out of place. Just keep it all CG. Let's just take a look here. Warf. It's time to fire up the rumor mill because hearsay suggests a Kingdom Hearts movie is in the works. Okay, so it's not substantiated just yet. It's important to note this news is unofficial. Disney Insider says Square Enix, Disney X, with a Final Fantasy crossover. Well, they've made a couple of Final Fantasy movies already, and I praise the two of them, not the three of them. I have a real special place in my heart for Final Fantasy Spirits Within, and I'm a big Final Fantasy VII fan, so I really liked Advent Children because it carries on after. If you played Final Fantasy VII, Advent Children carries on after that, shows the aftermath, which was really interesting to see. And then, of course, they did, was it Kingsglaive? Which I went to the theater to see. It was based around Final Fantasy 15 characters, trying to set up that world. I don't like that world. I wish they would stop making video games about that one, because they did 15 like that, 16 like that, and then they got a whole bunch of other ones that tie into that same kind of world. Get away from that world. Don't want to see that anymore. But anyway, I think I played about 40 minutes of the first game when it first came out, but that was a long time ago. It was kind of cool to see Tifa and Cloud walking around with, was it Donald Duck? It was weird. But yeah, you can only do it animated. And the cool thing about it, if you did it animated, you would be able to get the voice actors that people would recognize back to do it. Although they probably recast it with a bunch of famous people that, yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that, please. We'll see if this develops. Any comments? No comments. I'll keep my eye open. The Bride. Christian Bale, Jesse Buckley spotted on set of Maggie Gyllenhaal's Bride of Frankenstein remake. Yes. So this is based on Bride of Frankenstein. Christian Bale as Frankenstein. People said the Jared Leto Frankenstein because he's got tattoos on him. But I'm going to be watching it because of Jesse Buckley as the Bride of Frankenstein, playing like a weird, yeah, that's going to some weird places for her. Men was weird, but it wasn't because of her. It's because of Alex Garland and what the men characters were doing to her. But we take a look at The Bride here. The synopsis reads, a lonely Frankenstein travels to 1930s Chicago to seek the aid of Dr. Euphronius in creating a companion for himself. The two reinvigorate a murdered young woman, and the bride is born. She is beyond what either of them intended, igniting a combustible romance, the attention of the police, and a wild, radical social movement. Yeah, so we saw this yesterday in the Twitter roundup. I just wanted to reiterate it again today because I'm a champion of Jesse Buckley's work, and Christian Bale always brings it. He's never late for set. Jeez, Dave. Yes, guys, when you get bad headlines, I'm gonna use you as a punching bag. But anyway, yeah, I like the aesthetic of what I'm seeing. Once she got some kind of leg brace on, I didn't see that yesterday. Oh, I can't make it bigger. Bummer. Every time I zoom in, it just the background zooms in, but not the picture itself. Cool, man. Jesse Buckley is Bride of Frankenstein. I'll be on board with that. No comments? One comment. This is the look of an average Saturday night in Glasgow. All right, a little bit of humor there from some, I would assume, a Scottish person. Having a late night out at the pub? Hey, it happens to the best of us. Coming out October 2025, guys. October 3rd. Maggie Gyllenhaal directs. Cool, man. Alien Romulus comes out this year, though. So let's take a look at this. Yes. Yesterday, a new image of the Xenomorph was released. And it was questioned, why wasn't it released for Alien Day? Now, come on, guys. Get your marketing machine coordinated here. That you should be aware of these things if you're putting out an Alien movie. Anyway, let's take a look at this new image. No, this is not the new image, guys. We've seen that this is a still from the trailer. There it is. So, just a profile of the beast. Very xenomorphish. Very gooey. Looks like it's coming out of some kind of smoke or something. Yeah. I'm kind of liking how this one's coming out soon, but not like it's yet. You can feel like it's gonna just like explode into the zeitgeist, right? That's what it feels like. Like we're all talking about it, we're all buzzing about it, us movie fans. But and I saw the trailer for it on Abigail and stuff, so it is playing in front of movies that are playing now. But people are like, wait, there's a new Alien movie coming out? I didn't know this kind of thing. So it's slowly catching on. That's what I mean. It feels like it's just about to explode and people will be like, "Oh, there's a new Alien movie coming out. Will it be any good?" And once you see that trailer and you see the tone, what Fede Alvarez is trying to do, I think so. I think so. Cool, man. Uh, when does Alien Romulus come out as a release date? Well, it comes out August 16th, guys. August 16th. So yeah, May, June, July, August. 4 months. So yeah, I would imagine probably by the end of this month, maybe mid next month, we'll get the actual first trailer. Or maybe this week. I don't know. No, not this week. It would be out by now because it would be out for Fall Guy and Tarot. Um, but yes, 4 months away. Give it another month or so and then start ramping it up. I'm looking forward to it for sure. New Image, what do you think? Oh, God. The Mufasa fallout continues. I never thought that this story would be as big as it was. If you didn't know, the Mufasa trailer debuted on like Monday, and it just got torn apart by the fans. That's an understatement. It truly is. People were like, "I don't like you retconning the mythos here. I don't like the CGI. It's terrible." Barry Jenkins responds to criticism that Mufasa the Lion King is part of Soulless Machine. Jenkins defended working on this forthcoming prequel after Disney released the first trailer this week. So the backlash has been significant, man. This isn't just well, it's almost on par of people crying out about the first Sonic trailer, right? And they're like, "That's not Sonic. Change it around," like that kind of pushback. Of course, in this situation, the studio can't go back and what do what with it, right? They can't alter it or anything. So um, we're gonna get it. It's gonna come out. It's probably gonna be mid because it'll get the kids going to the theater, but it's got no real like Lion King fans of substance, like of grand quantity, saying I want this movie. So after screening footage at CinemaCon earlier this month, we got the new trailer and people yeah, massive thumbs down to it. And one fan called them out. "Barry, you're too good and talented to for Iger's soulless machine." Barry Jenkins responded, "There's nothing soulless about The Lion King. For decades, children have sat in theaters all over the world, experienced collective grief for the first time, engaging Shakespeare for the first time, across aisles in myriad languages, and most potent vessel for communal empathy." Yeah, but people said they didn't like your trailer, dude. So they go on to bicker back and forth with each other. Disney represents the capture of creative expression by finance driven corporate interests, and it exists to fence children's imaginations behind a paywall. You said, and that Barry Jenkins wouldn't have said that, but you just said. So he's be careful here, dude. Barry, careful there. You don't want a Ryan Johnson situation that he had with Last Jedi, where he started to respond to some of the criticisms online, and then they just tarred and feathered him because he was starting to push back and stand up for himself. This is the kind of thing where we have enough evidence. The best course of action here: pour yourself one, man. Ignore it. Right? Uh, don't get, don't let it sink its teeth into you and drag you down. You made the movie. You're working on it in post production right now. Put it out to the public and do what you got to do to promote it and stuff like that. And don't let it eat away at you, because we know what the response is, and it's not good. So You're just gonna have to roll with it. Roll with it. All right, we got some other trailer reactions here. I want to take a look at. Lazarus clip has Ashley Judd defending her family in the apocalypse. Well, you got me with two things there. I like Ashley Judd, and I like the apocalypse. So there's a clip. Oh, so this is a clip from the movie. So
I'm not sick. Back away.
I don't think we can watch. Yeah, because it'll count as part of the movie, James. It's not cut together like a trailer. This is an actual scene. So,
Oh, I'll try to help.
it's really dark. Really dark. But it's good to see Ashley back working. She took time off because, if you don't know, guys, she was part of the fallout of that Weinstein situation. Which really made me angry. She's awesome. She truly is awesome. And she's got a good head on her shoulders, too. She really does. She does a lot of humanitarian work. She married like a Formula One racer or something, right? So she spent a lot of time out at the track. But yeah, because she didn't acquiesce to all of the bad guys' demands, she got kind of blacklisted. Because that's what that sorry, yeah, I'm not gonna go there. But it's good to see her back, and I'm happy about that. Working in some projects. So this Lazarus, check it out. May 16th. Lee protects her orphan nieces, Imogen and Maeve. Is it Maeve? From a self-destructing world, raising them in isolation until an outsider threatens their peaceful existence. Okay. So we actually do have an official trailer for this. We can check that out. We just can't watch the clip. It sounds a little bit like that movie with Margot Robbie, Chris Pine, and Chiwetel Ejiofor, M for something. What was that called? Can't go with the music, guys.
When the first wave hit, everyone fled cities and lawlessness.
Or Z for Zachariah.
How is town?
Burn them.
Yeah, because it was Chiwetel Ejiofor that was kind of like her, living in like a radiation suit trying to collect resources. And then Margot Robbie comes along and it's like, oh, okay. And then Chris Pine comes along. Oh, okay. And then is there going to be like a romance? But that's Z for Zachariah. It's sort of like that kind of setup. This is not like that though, right? Because she's looking after her kids in this.
Not bad. My girls have never been to the outside. Lazarus is their sanctuary.
Why are you here?
I just need help, please.
Maybe it is. Maybe there is a romance angle to it.
Forever.
Coming of age story?
What you have done is very
Can you trust him or
dangerous.
not?
I don't want you with him alone. All in favor.
So there's anxiety there, right?
Keeping an eye on your sister, aren't you?
You've made this place dirty. You're envious.
Made this place dirty. Is that kind of like a religious thing? Because Z for Zachariah also had that religious angle.
You lied.
I said I'd keep you safe.
There's a boy staying in that cabin with you.
You knew them! Admit it!
You did something so heinous that now they're after you.
I did what I had to do to survive.
We know you're here, Owen.
So, Marauders come. It's just music here, guys.
You think you can hide from me? You can't.
You can't just leave family.
what Lazarus can do.
Interesting. I like the tone. We kind of know what's going to happen, though, right? Okay, so she produced this too. See? So you can act and be producing and stuff and have it all still kind of work. The boy comes, romances the older daughter. Marauders come. There's a paranoia. Did you lead them to us? Did you betray us? Kind of thing. Just cool to see her working again. I dig that. What are people saying in the comments? Ashley Judd is back in action. Yeah. Good. Edward Balaban snapping on this. Yes, for Ashley Judd. What is the song called? Yeah, there was an interesting song. I'll be watching you. Alibi Music. But yeah, I want to see. 2015. Wow, that was a long time ago. But it was a very similar setup. See Chiwetel Ejiofor in the suit, out in the woods. No, it was Margot Robbie that was out in the woods. He was like a scientist that thinks he gets out of the radiation zone and finds Margot Robbie. That's right. And then he uses his scientific knowledge to help them grow crops and stay alive, kind of thing. Like to build windmills and stuff to make it more sustainable. Then out of the blue comes a stranger, just kind of like that scenario, but it's Chris Pine. And actually, I think this is one of my more favorite Chris Pine's work. If you haven't seen Z for Zachariah, this one really flew under the radar for a lot of people. Like, nobody ever talks about this movie because maybe because it was sort of like an ambiguous ending. There was like a religious angle to it too. That's right. Margot Robbie was very into the religious stuff, and I like that because Chiwetel Ejiofor was the scientist. He was taking everything on the scientific approach, and they kind of argued a little bit about those types of things. It was very, very curious watch. Slow in pace, though. It was a slow burn, but it pays off in the end. And as I said, I think it's probably one of my favorite Chris Pine's performance because there's a thing that happens in the end where you think, okay, it's the two guys are going to butt heads with each other. And there's a way that Chris Pine looks that you would think would be evil, but it's also kind of like, that alone made it worthwhile to check it out. Anyway, cool stuff. I'm getting sidetracked. Hey, we're talking movies. That's what we do here. Talk movies. I like getting sidetracked. All right. Talking about Maggie Gyllenhaal. We're just doing that Frankenstein movie. We just saw Jake Gyllenhaal here in Roadhouse, which was 2 months ago now, wasn't it? Yeah, 2 months ago. Wow. All right. There's a trailer here called Presumed Innocent. Now, Harrison Ford did a movie called Presumed Innocent in the late 90s, or early 90s, late 80s, where he gets accused of murder. Is it that kind of thing? It's going to be on Apple TV+. Let's check out this trailer.
Isn't what people tell you that it is. In my experience, it's just something that grows. Until one day, you just find yourself needing someone.
Oh, it's a series. Okay, so it's not a movie.
That's how it was with Carolyn. She woke something.
You're not going to show any nudity in the trailer, are you? That looks racy. Just in case.
I can't stop thinking about her.
So he's in an affair with somebody. And that somebody is going to end up dead. Right?
Were you aware that Carolyn was murdered?
And you know what was cool about that movie with Harrison Ford was Raul Julia. M. Bison himself was his lawyer. So I don't know if this is another take on that, if it's a series, Maybe it is. Jake Gyllenhaal never disappoints. Yeah, he was good. He was good in almost everything, right? Can you think of one bad Gyllenhaal performance? I can. Even in Roadhouse, he was good. The movie was a little bad, but he was good. Mysterio. Well, yeah. What is happening, man? Is this a remake of Harrison Ford? This looks interesting. Roadhouse sucked. The wife did it. Well, thank you for spoiling everything, obviously. If you've never, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, nobody's going to be watching this anyway. So if you never watched the Presumed Innocent movie with Harrison Ford, it was the wife played by Bonnie Bedelia. You would recognize her from Die Hard. She was Bruce Willis's wife in Die Hard. And she had a good scene at the end of that movie. Wow, the reveal. Ooh, ooh, haunting. Haunting. So, yeah. Series on Apple TV Plus, huh? So it looks like he's got a family life here. She suspects him. Maybe it is the same kind of storyline. It was more of like a court, like the movie was billed as more of like a courthouse kind of procedural kind of drama. And if that's more, if it's just that story but in a series, I'd watch it with Jake Gyllenhaal. Even though I kind of know how it already's going to end, as some people had spoiled in the comments, even though you could see it a mile away. It just makes a whole lot of sense, right? All right. Where are we at? Are we done? We're over an hour now. We got some hit or miss. Let's go into some hit or miss quickly here. We only got 2 or 3 here. Carrie Fisher's daughter, Billie Lourd, would love to return to Star Wars in any way possible. Well, I'm sure any actor would like to return to some work in any way possible. And if you could return to Star Wars, yeah. So this is pretty much a no-brainer. Let's move on. Zendaya admits Challenger's ending might be confusing. My mom read the ending so different. Yeah, the ending. I never talked about that in my review. Basically, the two guys hug at the end. And she stands up and goes, yes! It's like... And you don't know why, actually. You don't know why she's going yes because she wants them to be friends with each other again. Or if it's because they just dueled and put on one of the best tennis matches she's ever seen, which she says that she wants, that's the only thing she's ever wanted to see, was a great tennis match. So when they kind of duked it out and then hugged each other at the end, collapsing in each other's arms. And she screams, yes. I guess there's some ambiguousness to it. That part of the film I didn't mind, though. There's just the pacing of it and the execution of the story I had problems with. My full review's up on the channel right now, guys. So people are having a little bit of confusion to it. My mom read the ending so different. My mom is like, she's pissed because they realize that they don't need her anymore. Well, there's that angle to it too. And I was like, but I smile a little bit at the end. My mom was watching it behind me, and every time the character does something bad or cheats on her husband or whatever, she's like, why'd you do that? She's so angry with Tashi. She's so upset. Yeah. But you see, that whole kissing thing is just to set them up to, like that's when you hear the reports that there's no kind of sexiness to it. It's because she's not there to do that with them. She would have done that with them, but she was doing it so that they would be pitted against each other to get the best tennis that they could possibly play, because she's all about the spiritual side of tennis. Don't you know that? Wow. Anyway, Challengers has had it It's run. It's curious though. Maybe I didn't hate it as well. I gave it a reasonable score, didn't I? I gave it like a 6 point. No, I gave it a 7. And that's high for a Luca Guadagnino film, for me at least. Next, Rebel Moon 2 underperforms as viewership drops in the first weekend Netflix. Well, no kidding, guys. This reminds me, I have to publish my best and worst ranking list for April here. I'll do that after I come back from the gym. I'm going to the gym after this, and then I'll come back and do some shorts, and I will be doing my ranking of April movies. Can you guess what's going to be the worst movie? Should I even start? I should start with that one, right? Yeah. No kidding. Well, we just saw reports that Anyone But You in Netflix's US version toppled it. Yeah, this one, the less said about it, the better. All right, so that's all I have, guys. Let's go over and take a look at the film updates. More Challenger stuff. Oh, that's Pin, that's why. Okay. Dead Boy Detectives. Was that the one on Netflix that you were going to check out, Hourglass? Interview with Vampire Season 2. Happy birthday to that guy, whoever he is. Glenn Powell, Margaret Qualley, Ned Harris to star in John Patton Ford's revenge thriller Huntington. The film will follow Beckett Redfellow, the heir to a multi-billion-dollar fortune who will stop at nothing to get what he deserves or what he thinks he deserves. Glenn Powell's name is going up. And you know what? Margaret Qualley was the best part of Drive Away Dolls. And Ed Harris was also really. If you didn't see Love Lies Bleeding, you think that he would just be the token bad guy, straightforward, I want to hurt and destroy the world kind of thing. But no, he didn't play it like that. He didn't. Yeah, he was an evil dude, but he still got it, man. Ed Harris. That'll be cool to see him square off against Glenn Powell. First looked up Presumed Innocent. Yeah, we took a look at that. Interview with the Vampire. More Interview with the Vampire. Terrifier 3 First Look, October 11th. Most anticipated sequel of the year. Not really, but it's coming out for Halloween time. Good for it. This is what you get when you, like, everybody thinks that Terrifier is the first time we saw Art the Clown. No, it's not. There was 2 short films that came out with him first, where they were like just trying to establish this character and the world around him. So technically, this will be the 5th time that we see Art the Clown. But us horror fans know that, right? Wonka was the 6th most profitable film of last year. Okay. More Interview with the Vampires. Is this all just Interview with the Vampire stuff? My God. A Quiet Place Day 1, Photo Call in London. This one I'm looking forward to. Why is Joseph Quinn bald here? Does he have to be bald for Fantastic Four? Because he's playing our Human Torch. Looks like he got a little bit more mass up here in the chest area, huh? Doing some presses, some flies. Because just the way that the jacket falls on him. He's holding his arms like he's been lifting. I kind of like that jacket mixed with was it like a tanned? Yeah, I like that. Next, Warvith Clark and Matt Smith, Star of Acre, to be released in UK and Irish cinemas September 6th. A supernatural folk horror It's set in rural 70s England, where a couple's life is thrown into turmoil when their son starts acting out of character. I like Matt Smith. I can't wait for House of the Dragon season 2 this summer, guys. And this is fun. And Morvith Clark was Galadriel in Rings of Power. Cool. Good actress. A lot of people did not cut her slack. Because she brought the character around by the end, right? That reveal at the end when she finds out who is Sauron, like the way she just kind of whispered his name. I thought she was awesome. So that'll be cool. So the kid starts acting out of character, huh? Fascinating. Set in rural 70s England. Jamie Dornan, 42nd birthday. Paul Mescal. Supports his sister Nell Mescal. Okay. She's a musician. Cool. Hey, got to use your platform to help somebody out. Might as well use it to help out a family member. Cool. Maybe I'll have to listen to a cut. Anya Taylor-Joy photo call. Yeah, we saw her out doing this stuff the other day too, right? When she was driving that vehicle. She can put on anything and it's going to be, wow. Her with Hemsworth. He's been out making the rounds too, right? Cool stuff. All right, guys. I think that's it for me. Doesn't look like there's anything else here. Twisters. Daisy Edgar Jones and Glenn Powell, July 19th. So I'll be back from the Yukon by then. So we'll be watching that one in the theaters, big theaters. Maybe I'll go to the IMAX to watch some Twister stuff. Although, guys, if you watch some of that Twister stuff that's going on in Nebraska and Iowa, that footage is scary, man. That's the kind of stuff that I want to see.
Quiet weather over the weekend we just talked about here.
Translated into the movies, man. Like that. Like that's not CGI. That's real. And that's wow. Wow. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Hit that thumbs up button. Stay tuned later on for my best of April, and then later on tonight for my straight out of the theater reaction for The Fall Guy. Arglass says Dead Boy Detectives wasn't bad, perhaps on acquired taste. Started strong, dipped in the middle, and finished okay. Good special effects and quite gory. Oh, well, I might have to check it out then. See you next time, right here on Mirror Domains.